Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Bradford's Vikings going up against Osweiler's Texans. With that, we're up to NRG Stadium in Houston as we say hello to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas at NRG Stadium in Houston. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings. And the Houston Texans. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now a play fake here on first down. And his first look is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And now it's second down. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But, boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
A first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Brandon, I know you play the fantasy football game, and Adrian Peterson has to be a popular pick for owners. But this year, a tough season for him. A knee injury early limited him to 72 yards total for the season.
Yeah, early indeed. Week 2 on that knee injury. So 72 yards, as you said, for the year. Came back, admirable, hoping to get him into the playoffs, but didn't look like he was ready to return.
One guy I never count out, though, is Adrian Peterson. I expect a monster return in 2017.
4 yards remaining now on second down. A play fake to Peterson. Now Bridgewater. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And on your screen, the defensive starters for the Houston Texans. One thing's for sure. Throughout the season, but really in the playoffs, Clowney and Merciless, boy, did they come on. You get J.J. Watt back next year, a good defense becomes even better.
You're exactly right about that. This was a defense that did not get the credit it deserved all year long. Finished the season #1 in total defense in the NFL. And as you mentioned, that's without J.J. Watt. Just think, when they get him back and put everyone else to use again, look out. Houston Texans will be stout again on the defensive side of the ball. I don't care what game it is. Everyone's always looking for an early advantage, an early break, and they almost had one there. That should have been an interception. Nice catch. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds.
And offensively lucky to have that one back. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. Now a quick handoff, and this is the fullback, Crotch. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA and playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana, trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. You know, for this Vikings team, as they come back out here on offense, I don't know that any group had more of a roller coaster ride than them in the 2016 season. The quarterback change at the beginning, the hot start, and then the cold middle. It was just a tough year for them, wasn't it?
It really was, and when you look at how their season went, you mentioned the roller coaster. A lot of it can come back to the injuries, especially along the offensive line. I think by around October, maybe even early November, I'm surprised you and I didn't get a call to go audition to be a left tackle there because they were just down so many guys. So that made it difficult to run the ball and to protect Sam Bradford, their quarterback, and it reflected in their final record.
They come out here in the eye. On second down, Peterson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. He needed 3, he got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
I can't say that I was really in love with the play call there. A draw in that situation, I know it's a risk-reward call. If it works, he walks in. But otherwise, you're bringing up a really tough 4th down situation.
So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed.
He's got a man complete. A big hook up there. Osweiler to Hopkins. 47 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end. Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit. And sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche. But did you see the free safety on that play? Knifing through. And
he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That's fielded in the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It's a gain of 24 that time. And it'll be first down Vikings.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Here we go.
Bridgewater on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Bridgewater fakes a give to Peterson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. Peterson alone in the backfield. Slot man moves right. He'll get the football here. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
First down, Bridgewater. Incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
2nd down here after the incomplete pass. Bridgewater gives to his tailback, Peterson. And he had a nifty little deep juke move, but he stopped shortly thereafter. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
On 2nd down, Bridgewater again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Throwing now, Osweiler on first down. Hopkins on the grab over the middle.
Brandon, if I told you in preseason that DeAndre Hopkins would have less than 1,000 receiving yards, would you look at me funny?
I would have. He's coming off a 1,500-yard season, and he's gotten better each and every year through the first 3.
And they have weapons around him now. Will Fuller can stretch the field. Braxton Miller, when they get him back healthy, he can fly as well. They got Lamar Miller as a running back in free agency. They've got
a 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Terrence Newman with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
I'm just looking side by side at Diggs' number, rookie year versus sophomore year a season ago. 52 catches as a rook, 84 last year. But something you pointed out to me, yards per catch is off a bit, isn't it?
It is, and you know, his first year, he was known a little bit more as a big play threat. This past season, adjusting to a new quarterback in Sam Bradford, that number went down by about 3 yards per catch, but he can be an explosive type of a receiver. Look at the last 2 games of the regular season, well over 100 yards in both.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Brian Cushing coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Joseph. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. After the interception, here's Osweiler. He's going to take another shot here. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Terrence Newman with a pick. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball up.
Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Adam Thielen with an acrobatic catch. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now out comes Houston. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams, and Arizona. Those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. the Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the two different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all of these places. In Mexico, for the second straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup. So now the Texans will call on the veteran Shane Leckler to kick this one away. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and they just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Whitney merciless. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. For Bridgewater. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong.
And this will be caught at the 30. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Osweiler on 1st down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Watch it now, Barney. All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
2nd and 10. It's Osweiler again. On the right side, this is Miller. It's a pickup of 16 there that'll lead to a new set of downs.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Here's Osweiler. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Leopard! All right, here we go.
Again, Osweiler. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. To throw again is Osweiler. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Jonathan Grimes in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans have once again taken the lead. And oh, he missed it. It's no good. And that will keep this a 3-point game. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. But they will not be able to capitalize as time has run out here on the... Hey, you. Yeah, you. John. Why'd you skip Larry's halftime? I'm just kidding. I don't know who you are. But if you're John, bet you're pretty freaked out for a second. All right, let's get to the third quarter. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Throwing now, Osweiler on first down. Caught left side, Hopkins. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Terrence Newman with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Well, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on third after the run. On third down, Bridgewater. And he fires one, but incomplete. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. And that brings up fourth down. Here's Jeff Locke now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And taken right at the 35. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. And now out comes Houston. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Oh, well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No,
you know
go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well.
And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And it looks like the offense did get the football back, but it is clearly in that end zone, and it's going to be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Cordero Patterson, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. And the lead is down to 4. Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they... And this will be caught at the 30. A big hook up there. Osweiler to Hopkins. And even 50 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Miller, the lone setback. On second down, Osweiler. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now out comes Minnesota. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
but it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
They come up in an offset eye. Again, Peterson. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Brian Cushing, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed him. So now he brings up a third down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They go with a fullback line. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on. And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Get ready. Wait,
A second down throw for Bridgewater. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Bridgewater. He's got his man on the crossing route. Back now at the home of Super Bowl 51, NRG Stadium in Houston. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They go play action here on 1st down. Surveying the field. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, 58 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Let's go.
Bridgewater will try and throw. That's caught at the 1. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game. Forbat to send it away now following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Right side, caught Fedorowicz. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Call it a pickup of 7, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
And he's got Miller. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A first down carry now for Miller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
Dumps it complete to Miller. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And let's discuss Osweiler a little bit further. Obviously, an interesting journey for him to get here to Houston.
Groomed in Denver and actually got to play some before he ended up making his departure to Houston. But after the Broncos won the Super Bowl, I think he was in search of his own team and his own destiny as maybe a Super Bowl quarterback. They gave him a great opportunity, and he took advantage of it and headed to be a Texan.
And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Shift together here from the D-line.
Here we go now.
To throw again is Osweiler. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only 2 yards on the completion at 2nd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hit.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Sharif Floyd able to get in there and drop him behind the line. So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. That's caught at the 1. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Well, now then, it's a big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th. But, Charles, there is still time left for a final drive.
Brandon, you know they would have liked to take the clock down just a little bit further, at least under a minute or so, but this was not over yet, especially since they just need a field goal.
And out now come the Vikings. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Deep drop. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And that will be incomplete as well. one score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Desperation time, 4th down, Bridgewater. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. A big play that time through the air, 33 yards.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on 3rd down plays, but when you go for it on 4th down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
Let's go.
A 10th carry now for Peterson. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And they have really been able to contain AP, and because of it, they've got the lead here in the 4th.
And they've done a really nice job in this game. A lot of group tackling. Rare that one guy gets him on the ground consistently. They've done an excellent job of containing him in this game.
Back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Still 9 yards to go on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. NFL teams last year a little under 50% on 4th down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got time. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And now a 1st down following that long gain. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. 1st down. Here's a run with Peterson. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Let's go.
They run again with Peterson. And he will maneuver his weight. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So there was a little meat on that bone, a little more than a chip shot considering the circumstances, but he's able to bang it home in what should be the game winner.
And the key was getting him into a good position to kick from. I mean, if that's a 52-yarder, you're going to have some anxious moments, but kickers nowadays, you give them anything under 40, and they're automatic.
Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us, because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long from Houston.